Okay, so this is going to be a demonstration video on how to do the creative typography assignment. So what you do is you're going to create a obviously open up Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to create a new file. So I'm just going to create this. Click on this create new one, and just click the default letterhead. You can also change the orientation to the longer way. You don't have to deal with the portrait way. We can do landscape way. Again, if you can't pull this up though, it's under web or under print, letter, and then you click on um, this orientation here. Click create. So we're just gonna start off with a white blank page to start off with. Okay, so this assignment is just gonna be primarily just basically experiment and play around with the type tool. So some of you may have used this in the original logo designs that we did before, but if you didn't get a chance to do that, this is going to be like the opportunity where we can actually get to use the type tool. So to get started, we're just going to click on the type tool. And you have a lot of different options on different types you can choose. We're just going to click on just the regular type tool. And I'm just holding the mouse button to change these up. So just use the type tool, and I'm just going to click on a space. And what will pop up is basically this is the title of the font. So if you're wondering like why there's like random letters or words that pop up on it, it's the font. So if you go to Windows and go to Type and Characters, you can see that. You know what? Honestly, I think this is just gibberish that they put in. Because let me close this again. So this didn't happen in Illustrator in the past before, but this is just like I feel like it's just random gibberish they put in. So if you were to highlight the whole thing, this is just random words. This basically just gives you an idea of like what those words look like. And I'm just clicking on these with the selection tool to delete them. But first thing you do is click on this. I would delete it, and then you can type in your own work. So I'm actually going to use the word break. My example here. So after I click on break, or after I type in break, there's two ways you can enlarge the word. So you can click on the selection tool. And again, selection tool allows you to move it around. And it allows you to resize it too. So if I hold the shift key and I make it bigger, it'll make the words bigger. You can also stretch and skew the words too. So depending on like what word you choose, and I'm just doing the undo key to fix that. It'll depend on like how you want to manipulate the words. So okay, basically the assignment is, I had you guys look up verbs or descriptive words. And basically you want to try to demonstrate these words using the letters or fonts of the word. So, again, you can resize it by stretching this and holding the shift key. And you can also change it here too. So this is going to allow you to change the size as well. All right. Also on the characters key, if you click on this tab here, it's going to show you a bunch of different examples of different fonts that you can use. So I actually want to use like a bolder font for this one. Oh, this is actually nice. This is a new update they did for Adobe Illustrator, where you can just highlight over the words and it'll show you like what it looks like. So that's a really nice feature. So I'm just gonna find like a more of a bolder letters to use. Actually like the top one here. So I'm gonna go with this Arial black. And you can also change like this part here too. So depending on like the font, if I pick like the regular I'm gonna find like regular Arial. So if I click on Arial, you can also change it to bold, and it's gonna end up being this Arial black too. So you can change this too depending on like the font face. Okay, so now that I have my words figured out for like what I want to do, and again, you can always at least at this point now, you can always click on the words, and if you need to like delete it or fix it, that's up to you. Okay, but obviously like this word break, it's kind of like the idea of just breaking apart things or like separating parts separately. So one way that we're going to kind of like break these letters apart so we can kind of like manipulate and change them even more is we're going to go to objects and you're going to go to expand. So object expand and just make sure object and fill is filled out and you just click OK. And basically what's happening is it's turning the type tool into separate shapes. So now all these are a separate shape. The only difference though is we have to separate them too. So after you've expanded and you clicked on that, then you're going to click on this ungroup button. So once you ungroup it, this is going to allow you to drag each letter separately apart. And then also you can resize the letters or stretch and skew them as well. I'm just holding the shift key to keep them small, but it's going to allow you to like kind of like break apart these letters. So depending on like what word or letters you choose, you may want to play around with separating the letters. And in some cases, I might have to like, you can also rotate it too. So if you look at it right here, this is going to allow you to make it bigger, smaller. If you go out a little bit further, you can also rotate it too. So then, you can really go with like that idea of, break that's like mentioned here. You can like play around with the sizes a little bit. So this is kind of like what, we're just focusing on today. It's just, just playing around with the letters, seeing what we can come up with. Because, when we work on your, when we work on the logos again, I do want you to incorporate words within the logo. So, this is going to give you an option of how you want to design or manipulate the letters in the logo. And in some cases, you can use some of these letter shapes in the logo. It should be really interesting to do because there were some examples of logos where they combine like the imagery with the letters. I thought that was really interesting. Oh yeah, and then one other thing I did want to show you too is how you can change the colors of the logo. So if you go to Windows Color, it's gonna pull up a actually we want to pull up the swatches. So go to Windows Swatches, and this is gonna give you a bunch of different colors you can use. You can just click on the selection tool, so click on the shape, click on the color, and this will allow you to get those colors real quickly. Or if you want to as well, you can create a gradient for the colors. So you can click on the letter here. You can click on these gradients here too. So this one's kind of like doing a blue, but it's like fading into like that white. So I don't know, maybe you might want to play around with like like the fading out things. Like for example, you can do like oops. Or you know what? Yeah, but you can play around like fading out the effects or also what else? Or yeah, you also like full control of the green. So you go to window gradient. This is gonna give you like that full option of how to control that gradient. So you have like the option of fading, orange, yellow. You can also change these colors. So if you double click on it, you can change the colors. You can also change like how far things go with it, the colors. You can also get rid of colors too if you just drag away from it. So if you only want to do like 2 colors, you have that option too. So this guy gives you like a lot of leeway with how to do the colors. All right, but there's just a couple of things you can do with these letters to create the creative typography words for today. All right.